The empty stats narrative. The thought in the NBA that numbers as a great player puts up don't matter unless they result to wins. And if they don't result to wins, that player is just not as good as people think they are. This has been affected by a couple players, from Trae Young to Devin Booker. But the player I think it still affects right now that's slowly turning the narrative around like everybody else does once they get a pretty good team around them is De'Aaron Fox. Right now the Sacramento Kings are 6-6. A 500 record isn't anything to be crazy happy about for the Sacramento Kings. It's definitely a step in the right direction. And being on a nice 3-game winning streak, it seems like the front office finally realized that if you put shooters around a hyper-athletic guard that can get to the rim whenever he wants and is a pretty good passer when he goes downhill, that the team will do well and you have a pretty good offense. Who f***ing knew? Anyway, right now, the lead man in the office right now has been De'Aaron Fox. And with him meshing well with Domantas Sabonis right now, this team looks like it's taking a step in the right direction. And De'Aaron Fox this season so far is averaging 26 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.3 steals, which, isn't crazy numbers compared to 2 years ago where he averaged 25 points per game and 7 assists. But the thing that jumps off the page to me right now is the efficiency. As of right now, with the increased spacing around him, De'Aaron Fox is shooting 55% from the field and 38% from 3. Now, while those numbers may not keep up for the entire season, I don't think you'll see too much of a dip. Right now, with the crazy level that Keegan Murray has come into the NBA shooting at 38% clip as a rookie, right now Kevin Huerter is averaging 16 points per game on 51% shooting from 3. You have Trey Lyles shooting 36% off the bench, Malik Monk shooting 36%, Harrison Barnes is freaking cooked. But overall, this team has enough shooters on the roster to keep the spacing and defensive honest. So De'Aaron Fox, who is probably one of the best slashing guards, if not the best, one of the best slashing guards. I completely forgot Ja Morant exists for a second. But one of the best slashing guards in the league. He's been shooting nearly 70% at the rim. I think he's shooting like 65% at the rim on floaters, pull-ups, and all of those. And I think nearly 70% of his drives are leading to points for this team, which is some league-leading numbers. So right now, the 3-point percentage may drop to maybe a 35-36% because you can tell he has improved from there, and I don't think he'll go back down to the 33% he was shooting a couple years ago. But that 55% from the field, I don't see that going down too much. The man is insanely good at getting to the rim and finishing around the rim, but the place that I think he's improved the most this season so far is defensively. And while the numbers don't show it, I think this whole team has gotten better defensively this season. And while they're like 26 in the defensive rating, that's because right now so far this season, the Sacramento Kings have had some horrible luck. I'm not going to lie to you. They're allowing the most threes in the NBA by frequency, like allowing teams to take that many threes, but they're also closing out and defending the most threes. It's just that teams are like consistently hitting contested shots against them, and they're shooting like 39% on average from 3 against the Sacramento Kings team. And I think throughout the season that number will rectify itself. The defense will actually start mattering, and teams will stop only getting hot against this team. But overall, this team's been doing pretty well on the defensive end, as a closeout and defending teams is that teams need to start missing shots. And De'Aaron Fox himself has taken some nice defensive responsibility for this team. Against that game against the Miami Heat, he took it upon himself to defend Tyler Hero, who was going off in that second half, and kind of slow him down and calm down the run comeback from the Miami Heat. He's taking a lot of the pressures every single time there's a guard that's going off. He seems like the guy that wants to step up and truly prove that he belongs. And so far, he's showing that second half burst that he had last season when I think they traded Tyrese Halliburton looks like the constant that we're gonna get from him this season. And then when you look at his running mate in Domantas Sabonis, it seems like he's finally starting to find his way and find his role on this team and meshing well with him. He just had a 26 point, 22 rebound game last night. Overall, this team just seems like it's gelling together. They have a nice rookie in Keegan Murray that hasn't been as good defensively as I would hope, but the shooting and scoring versatility he gives this team is more than enough. Get rid of Harrison Barnes, please. He's a cancer to this team, and he's very much cooked. Kevin Huerter has been insane. I can't expect him to keep up 51% shooting from 3, but it looks like he's going to be, one of those 43 to 45% shooting guys this season overall. You have Malik Monk giving you some nice bursts coming off the bench. This entire team just looks like it's finally going in the right direction, and I can't help but enjoy it. Finally, another guard like De'Aaron Fox no longer is gonna have the empty stats narrative pushed against him, and he's putting up the same numbers he was putting up before, but now it's leading to wins, and people are realizing that he's just this good. And I've been a crazy fan of De'Aaron Fox since he came into the league. I've said it before, I love the hyper athletic guard. And coming in the league, I have very high hopes for him and the fact that he could turn around the Sacramento Kings team. And they just hasn't been able to pull the roster around him to actually, make them contenders and win games. Not even contenders, just be a okay playoff team. And they finally did. And he's finally killing a lot of the dead and old narratives that have been behind his name. Just like every single other guard that always gets the empty stats narrative. It seems like people don't learn that whenever you actually build teams around these guys that are extremely talented, you finally see that their numbers easily translate to wins when the team around them is built well. Like, it happened to Trae Young. Trae Young made it to the Eastern Conference Finals once the team was built well around him. It happened to Devin Booker. Devin Booker made it to the NBA Finals once a good team was built around him. It's not a surprise that once De'Aaron Fox has a pretty okay team, he doesn't even have a good enough team that compared to Trae Young's 2021 team or Devin Booker's 2020 team or 2021 team. But his team is relatively average, and you're seeing just how much better they are with him on the court and just how good they can be and just the numbers he's able to put up once this team actually has spacing on it. But that's neither here nor there. With that being said, this is FLB. Let me know you guys in the comments down below. Do you think the Sacramento Kings team can, continue to get better? Do you think they'll be able to make the playoffs this season? With that being said, this is FLB. That's my time, and I'm out.